Hey everyone, Miacidae here. Welcome back to Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. So today we're going to be starting off with the rumor here in Omicron, Visions in the Dark. This should be the last rumor I have available to me right now in Chapter 4, and then we're going to start knocking out some of the, bigger quests. Particularly starting to go to Vabos 4, way up here, to get Solomorne back, but otherwise, after that, I'm not sure where we'll be going. If Solomorne will just take up the majority of the episode, things like that. So let's start with the Omicron, see what happens here, have some fun. I'm not expecting this one to be too big, but you never know. So, all usual noises on the bridge cease when the shadow of a gigantic voidship seemingly appearing out of nowhere sets sails past the stained glass windows. It seems forlorn. The hull is tarnished. The lumens are dead. The windows are broken and shrouded. The auger crew can't recognize the signature of its silent engines. They only manage to shed some light on its decrepit hull and make out some of the faded names on the cruisers. Queen's Lament. The Voxmaster report breaks the somber silence. The bridge has just received a Voxcast from the dead Voidship. This isn't going to end well, but accept the signal. Vigdis conducts a full Vox system check and reports that the communications are in order, even though they are only eerie, unnatural silences that can be heard through the Vox. Worried murmurs sweep across the bridge. The officers are certain that this is the Voidship of the old ghost stories. The Queen's Lament has appeared countless times in all corners of the Imperium. Like a ghost, it manifested out of nowhere and just as mysteriously vanished into the darkness of space, taking with it those who dared to board. Lore Imperium test succeeded. The Queen's Lament. The Rogue Trader has heard that name before. The Voidship was destroyed by the Xenos in one of the violent battles over the Expanse 3 millennia ago. They say that its captain was a devout and vengeful man. What happens if we send people aboard? The shuttle carrying the soldiers docks with the Queen's Lament without impediment, using blueprints of other Imperial cruisers. The scout party sets out to the bridge, following the dark, unpowered corridors that somehow retained oxygen and gravity. The nervous voice of the operator erupts over the Vox. The crew are still on board, but what's this? Blurry silhouettes of people with torn off limbs, cut open bellies, and twisted faces are materializing and vanishing all around in ghostly flashes. The ghosts promise the unwelcome guests that they will stay on board the Queen's Lament forever. Raising his voice to a shout, the operator reports that his comrades are already dead and soon it will be his turn. The augurs are telling a different story. All of the scouts are still alive and moving forward. Let's logic this. He was scared by the strange visions, and he lost sight of his comrades. An anxious prayer to the Emperor is whispered over the Vox. For a moment, the operator falls silent and then suddenly returns, mumbling excuses about his imagination playing tricks on him. His comrades are still walking ahead of him, alive and well, and the Voidship looks completely empty again. Now, what I want to know is, did his companions hear him calling that over the Vox? After a few minutes of silence, a child's cry can be heard through the Vox. The stuttering operator reports that friends and family of the members of the scouting party are blocking the way. The friends and family who've all been taken by death. The soldiers confirm that they're not seeing ghosts, but living people made of flesh and bone. The soldiers are begging for the Rogue Trader to let them talk to their loved ones for a moment. We're gonna lore warp this. Remind the soldiers that it's impossible to cheat death. These visions must be a product of some dark powers. The scouts begin to argue. The unintelligible quarreling abruptly stops, and after a few minutes, the operator anxiously gives his report. As soon as the squad split up, the ones who decided to stay with their loved ones were swallowed by the darkness of the empty deck and vanished. Half an hour later, the Vox comes to life once again. The operator flatly reports that the scouting party has reached the bridge. Cognitors are broken, so extracting any data from them seems impossible. The scouts have found a strange object in the captain's chair. They can't describe it, only saying that this shouldn't be there. In his usual flat voice, devoid of emotion, the operator completes his report. The way to the bridge took 16 hours and 41 minutes. The soldiers are exhausted and would like to rest for some time. Confused, Vigdis notes that only half an hour has passed outside of the Queen's Lament. Order the squad to retrieve the object and retreat immediately. If it's been 16 and a half hours compared to one, something is playing really bad tricks on them. or time is really badly distorted and shit is going down. The Voxcast stops abruptly, and a few minutes later the scouting party's shuttle leaves the Queen's Lament. The Voidship itself dissolves in darkness of space. The shuttle arrives carrying a single passenger, the operator, clutching a strange parcel. The young man's hair has turned white after the time spent on the cursed vessel, and he has lost the ability to speak. His story and rumors of what happened to the other scouts will live on for many years in hushed whispers of every deck of the rogue trader's Voidship. We got Unholy Relics. This amulet grants the wielder plus 20 bonus to coercion and minus 5 to intelligence. So that's a little odd that that was there. And then from here, I wanted to go to Vabo 6. However, Kiava Gamma is acting a little off, so I'm going to go there really quick because there's been a pirate raid. So I'm assuming I just need to, go there and do a few talking points. A gang of vile pirates has descended upon the colony and is now bombarding it from orbit. Oh, we can actually do a fight here. That's new. I was not expecting that one. Well, let's save Kiapa Gamma. Oh, it's Drukari. I do wish there was a way to speed this portion up. But they're probably going to take out that Viper-class destroyer again. So, 2 Talon, 3 Sigils. Alright, this should be nice and easy. I do have to make a few changes to the ammo I'm firing and things like that, but this will be easy. Oh, leech torpedoes. So we want to be firing the crack shots, just because they're shields. We'll hit this one with our lance.
Beam scorch our enemies.
They go boom. You can go forward here. Actually, let's do where is it? Master Maneuvers is locked down, never mind. Yeah, we'll still go here. We are going to then fire the starboard at the Talon frigate. Not sure we get to reload anything, but we can try. Dorsal at the Sigil class destroyer there. Warp turn it. Imperium Storm, 7 attacks at random enemies. Oh, we're missing them because of that shield. I wasn't expecting that part. These little guys go out. Reload. Void Lance goes. And then Wraith Starfighters can take out the Sigil Destroyer. Oh yes, I do want you there. Oh, maybe not there. We can Void Lance him.
Send them into the cold void.
fires of retribution.
Head back up here.
Target.
Put these little guys out. And they can go at our little friend up here. Kerboom. Actually didn't do that much to it. Kind of surprised. Well, thank you for taking them out for me. And as we go up, melt bomb.
Charter course.
Do the twisty twist, and down they go. Pirates are now away from Kiavagama.
On Valancius dynasty knows no defeat.
And everything should be fine there now. I need to go to, Fallstone had a thing now too, and then Vabo 6. Oh, the Heartless. Can we actually interact with this? Because this is our ship, isn't it? Lord Captain, we have established Vox connection with the Captain of the Heartless. He says the ship and her crew serve you faithfully while protecting the Dynasty's trading vessels. So curious to hear about the voyage. Well, we got some ranged weaponry. Captain reports destruction of a pirate ship. The heretics did not know that Saragana was no longer the master of the Heartless and offered to buy captives. Your servants immediately delivered a sudden strike and dispatched the brigands. The captain is pleased to present you with a shuttle loaded with spoils. Cool. And on Foulstone, one of the more influential patrons on the Expanse has learned a dirty secret about the Von Valancius dynasty and is now blackmailing the rogue trader. We're gonna pay the Casa Basilica to arrange more pressing problems for the blackmailer. Several days later, the rogue trader receives a report along with a sealed envelope containing damning evidence and a small box containing 2 fingers and tip of a tongue. The blackmailer never makes contact again. And that's how we do business. I know people now. They don't want to mess with me. Or rather, they shouldn't. And then we can go up to Vabos. And get Solomorne back, I believe. There's also more stuff up there. Alright, so Solomorne. Or rather, Vabos 6, because there's going to be more than just Solomorne here, but... I was going to say, why are we not flying there? But there we go. So this is a prison world. Requires the Rogue Trader's attention. The planetary authorities wish to found a new settlement that would expand their influence on the planet. What does this get me? +2 efficiency. I can inspire the people to support the construction efforts, which requires more than 5 complacency, which I believe I have. As a collective initiative, the commoners will help organize the construction efforts, molding a great future for their colony. These ones are really short. Alright, so what's going on down here? Hi, guys. Senior Jailer. Greetings, your lordship. You've come to collect him, haven't you? Overseer Anther, I mean. You look a little disturbed. Is he causing trouble? Most certainly not. He's an arbitrator through and through, albeit a discharged one. It's just, he is so diligent in his work that us common people can't keep up. State plainly what the problem is. Your lordship, Vabo 6 is a grim and dismal place, but how shall I put this? Master Anther has made it unbearable. So this is where people go to spend the rest of their lives basically mining away until they die. And he has made it worse somehow. He has introduced new policies. Every shift now begins with a penitential scourging followed by an inspection. Even the slightest offense merits 10 lashes, a thorough search, and yet more punishment. And I'm talking about the jailers here. Why is he dictating procedures? Are you not in charge here? I'm in charge of just this sector, or was in charge. Anyway, The head of the colony said that now that we have an ex-arbiter, we should heed his wisdom and learn from it. Called us planetoid-dwelling dust gorgers too, but that's beside the point. And you have learned nothing, choosing instead to wallow in cowardice. So are you telling me my colony has become less functional? Quite the opposite. We have never enjoyed such strict discipline, except people are dying a bit too quickly. On both sides of the bars. I mean, your lordship, there have been several attempts on Master Anthar's life. The hate has grown stronger than the fear. Take him away from here, I beg you. Please, take him away. Yeah, if people are dying too quickly on the planet, he needs to leave. Yes, I did come for him. Where is he? Emperor be praised. I mean, he's not far from here carrying out the routine cell inspections. You should have no trouble finding him. Alright, so I need to go find him then. Emperor, bless you. Oh, Anthar, what have you done? Oh, this isn't the world I thought it was. This is the one where we fought as if it was an arena. How much more of this shish can we take? That newcomer did something to him. I think he has a broken jaw or something. Quiet, don't you want to keep the teeth you got left? If no one has killed him yet, you've got no chance. That newcomer's no ordinary guy. He's an Arbites.
Successful.
Tactica Imperialis Exert. Critical damage dealt by the wearer with pistols is increased by 21% if their lore Imperium is greater than 150. That's kind of nice. There's some stashed goods over here, guys. You're being lax. Shield Bearer's Boots. The wearer can use their Assault Onslaught ability twice a turn. I got some really good stuff for Anthar once I finally find him. He's over there. I do want to see if they have any more stuff stashed. Does not look like it, but they have a Teth Priest. There, that's a jailer, huh? No hard feelings, boss. Oh! What the? It doesn't matter. You're already dead. What was that, Solomorne? Solomorne turns sharply towards you. He is not wearing a rebreather, and fresh bandages peek out from under his uniform. The proctor roars, consumed with rage. Who opened your cells? Who did it? Speak, or your deaths will be... You already got him. It seems Solomorne is a breath away from lunging for you next, but recognition glimmers in those deranged eyes, and his voice goes quiet, as if all of his strength has fled him. Galeto? You're not wearing a rebreather. The air here is noxious. I'm too used to arbiter helmets. They do not cover the lower part of the face. As for my well-being, frankly, I could care less. What happened here? A pathetic attempt on my life. Second one today. One of the jailers left the cells unlocked so the prisoners could do their dirty work. No matter. I will find the culprits and execute each and every one of them. I was told you were discharged. How did that happen? I failed the mission. Failed everyone. There are too many enemies. The situation was against us. No, I am not making excuses. It was not my first mission to go awry, but I didn't have Galeto with me. I was sloppy, unfocused, and I ordered the retreat too late. I managed to drag one of the arbiters to the infirmary. The man died of his wounds. Bottom line, the objective was not accomplished. 10 arbiters were lost, and their commander was somehow left alive. Like a coward, I hoped to be executed, but the marshal sent me to rot on Vabo 6 instead, and he was right to do so. I've already put in a petition to have you reinstated. Come. You coming with me, buddy? No. Stop. I can't leave. I'm guilty. Guilty? What are you talking about? I have judged myself and handed down the sentence. Not because of the demotion, though it was the last straw. I cannot do it anymore. I cannot look at the lying governors, the scoundrels who can succumb to a corruption, or the Xenos who consort with humans because throne take me. It is permitted under the law of your sector. But above all else, I cannot bear to look at myself, an arbiter who is coming apart at the seams. Who turns into a wreck without his dog? Who who no longer believes that the Lex Imperialis prevails anywhere at all. The trial of will is an immutable part of every journey. It is time to combat your weakness and the light of fire of true faith in your heart. Marzahai, even the way you broke was boring. Go on then. Komura devours millions like you every day. You will not get to savor your martyrdom for long. And then what about Glato? I do not have the right to keep him anymore. Deliver him to the Marshal. He'll get Glato a new master. I don't have the right to keep him anymore. He reaches his metal fingers towards the Cybermastiff's head, but stops just short of touching it. Deliver him to the Marshal. He'll find Glato a new master. He slowly raises his hand, his face twisted in torment. Perhaps his injuries are causing him pain, or perhaps it's the words he's trying to force out. Glato. Protocol. Mortem 80. Guard the target. He points a trembling finger at you. But the Cybermastiff does not react. The scarlet lights of his visor stare at Solomorne and not a muscle beneath. The dark coat quivers in response to the order to leave his master. He's not listening to me. Is this the aftermath of that mission on Tharasa, or did the tech priest have to reset him to basic protocols? Throne, what difference does it make? My dog, I can't even give him one last order. Why now, Glato? He protected you from the convict. Isn't that enough for you? We used to act as one, but not anymore. The last remnants of my composure are gone. Look at me. I'm a human scrap, not an arbiter. Just an appendage to a Cybermastiff. So, what do you think your sentence is? I will serve on Vabo 6 until either the world itself or its inhabitants end my existence. Until that day, I will mold this prison into a paragon of imperial order. No, you're not. No, you're not. I'm not leaving without you. You will. You cannot stand here forever. Ooh. I like the coercion one. I like the commerce one here, actually. I'm kind of surprised it was commerce and not like something else. So, is that how proctors end their journey? You can die in a penal world or in the heat of battle against the most dangerous heretics in the Koronus Expanse. The choice is yours. You have a way of hitting a nerve. I'd say you're too good at it. Solomorne looks sullenly at the courtyard where another prisoner is about to meet his fate. Oh, that didn't actually get him to come with me? Well, fine. And you're in pain and you're hurting yourself even more to block it out. Wounds need to be healed, not gouged open farther. Is this pity? How far must I have fallen in your eyes if it's come to this? Well, you're only human. Just like the people you judge, make peace with yourself and find a new way to serve the law, even if you're not an arbitrator. I never thought I would take comfort in naive platitudes. Clearly, I'm losing my grip. I honestly thought that would end the conversation, and it didn't. So you protect Glato, and you draw strength from that. Perhaps one day, you'll want to protect human lives too. I'm too used to hating. Solomorne rests his hand on the back of Glato's neck for the first time since you two have been talking. I don't even know what life without hatred would look like. Not so lousy, perhaps. Do I really have to say this last one? It's the only choice. It's literally the only choice. Vabo 6 has become your twisted reflection. Others' torments is a part of your punishment. You've grown tired of violence, tired of carrying out executions, which it sounds like you're doing every day. None of this is because of me. They all get what they deserve, but for some reason I no longer feel satisfaction from carrying out my duties. Then let's not. You have convinced me. To the void with Vabo 6. My place is not here. I am ready to serve once more. His metal fingers close around Glato's collar. I will head to the ship at once. If you need anything, you can find me at my usual post on the bridge. So is there... Reinforced body gloves obviously go to cargo. Goods here. Ruby Splash. Where it can use ranged weapons in melee range. Where range attacks to adjacent targets gain 24% hit crit chance. That's actually kind of good. Is there anything else here on Vabos? I'm not really seeing it. I thought we would have more to do here. But man, this place is misery. We got Solomorne back. I kind of wanted to use him over Cassia because the Cassia Argenta thing is just utterly wrecking fights right now. And it's to the point where, like, that is ending some things that are meant to be boss fights on round 1. So I'm like, can I try something else and have a little more fun with this? Maybe. Alright, so I'm supposed to go to Footfall for Chapter 4 and the Nameless Star. Blood Ties for Wersarian and Darganas, so let's do that. Actually, there's a place way up top here. So let's go to the Calamity here, because this is new. Emelina's message. Which one was Emelina? Price of Humanity. Certain message from the Astropathic Choir has, for Heinrix. Okay. Uncharted system. Oh, there's a lot going on here. Lord Captain, we've arrived on Photon 4 system. Our translation from the warp was a little rough. A net loss of 500 souls on the middle and service decks. God Emperor only knows how many wounded, but that's only the half of it. The brain boxes... And this was supposed to be a safe transition. The brain boxes on the augers are sending me reports that aren't doing my mood any favors. Real space here has gotten more holes than a sieve, and all our sensors are playing up. It's gotta be sorcery, Lord Captain. If I was you, Lord Captain, I'd do it. I came here to do right sharpish and clear out while we still can. I've seen likes of this before in the same region. Maybe your sorcerers will be able to explain it later. But here's what I know. Shit like this never ends well. Well, thank you for that. Distorted Star... So what's on the planets here? A Promethium 7. I kind of want to go to the star too. The surface of the star shimmers with a myriad of hues. I didn't even click on it. I was trying to go to the planet. The dance of colors fascinates any who dare glance at it. The playful colored patterns appear on the vessel's augers in a wide variety of spectra, from infrared to ultraviolet. Every voidsman knows that such emissions are dangerous to organic matter, and Master Helmsman Rever asks the crew to resist the desire to admire the star. Not everyone manages to follow this advice. Some crew members suffer from nausea and headaches. Shutter the bridge. Oh, now we can't go close to it. But then people can't, like, look at it, I suppose. There's unknown ships around the planet I'm supposed to go to. And then we can help Heinrix with his thing.
I lift up my voice in prayer.
Oh, it's Drukari.
And its hallowed guns.
Sigil Bloodied Claw Cruiser. That's new. Kind of want to see this one. No, that's just a sigil. Oh, that looks kind of cool for the outline, at least. I have a feeling our Viper friend is gonna go down pretty quickly. That's a lot of shots. Yes, they did go down pretty quickly. I'm gonna go straight at them. So they can go there. If I go right here, I can use the dorsal on them. I can't do some of the other stuff I'd like to do. So we're first going to do a boarding party to start a fire on them. Maybe disrupt their weapons. Melt bomb mortar. He didn't go back to his other thing. Interesting.
Eviscerate them.
Void Sunder. And then when I go like this, I can fire the crack shots at them. And down he goes. Now you're going this way to fight the two sigils that are way too far away. Although that might take them out. Yeah, 1 down. 3 more down. At least it's a target for them. That's not me. I can't do the main thing, the turn I want to do, so let's do a swing run here.
Chart a course. Steer us to our target.
And then we can put out another one of these. But I doubt this is going to take out the sigil class anymore. But we can keep sending them out. I should be able to get him this time around. So that is Fangs. Janus, go.
Annihilate them.
Yeah, I think we annihilated them. Dorsal melt bomb motor.
Destruction for more.
Those shots are just so big. And that's a win.
Victory is ours.
And we can upgrade again. Before I forget. I don't need more scrap. So let's do silent running here. When approached by an enemy, a flagship shuts down its own non-essential systems and starts to drift unnoticed past enemy ships. As a result, most encounters larger enemy vessels, frigates, and larger are surprised and act later. Silent running now makes flagship act before all enemies in most encounters. Cool. Alright. I'm gonna save before I get on that planet. Just cause I can. And then let's see what the problem here is, because I was just told that something emergent was going on. And we do have to take Heinrix. So he'll replace Cassia for this time. I have to level up Solomorne so much, it looks like. So, what's happening down here? Well, that doesn't look too bad. The landing strip for cargo shuttle is strewn with rubbish. You notice a few reddish-brown spots. This, however, does look horrible.
The very idea of steering a Voidship into the warp without the protection of the Geller field? Pure madness. I am appalled that the arbitrators failed to consider such risks and put the Lord Captain's life in danger.
So it's just some cargo here. There's a shuttle. The vanquished aircraft obviously fell from a height. Too much time has passed now to determine cause of the crash.
It's beneath my feet.
Some excavation stuff. Powerful smell of promethium lingers in the air around the burning mechanism. The machines were doused with the accelerant and set alight. Oh, they burned this. Okay, I was thinking they just started on fire, but no. The spikes have been fashioned from whatever their creators had to hand. Oh. This pitiful barricade is unlikely to stop anyone who's determined to get through. Or I can, you know, walk around. Hi guys, how you doing? Overseer, the sentry rubs her eyes and gawps at you. One half of her face is covered with the bulky, rusted augment of unknown purpose. You came to rescue us. Praise the God Emperor, it reached you. The sorcerer's message reached others like him. May he rest in peace. We are most honored by your presence. Please come forward quickly out of the darkness. The woman hurriedly checks a nearby lumen, her hands visibly shaking. Those creatures came from the dark, you see, but not for much longer, And you're here now. Mistress Lichtenhart has already found a way to help us. Heinrix thoroughly listens to this entry's speech. He takes a few steps forward and intently peers at her face as the woman herself freezes in fear. Then Heinrix scowls and cuts a glance at you. We need to hurry. So what's on the face? I didn't expect to get 35%, but even under the wavering lumens, you notice something strange. Slightly skewed proportions, almost indiscernible asymmetry of her facial features. Looking at the other sentries, you see the same oddity in their faces too. And the fact that they're all wearing the same strange ramshackle implants, which are clearly not combat augments. Have you noticed, don't jump to any conclusions. It could be any local genetic anomaly. It could be something else. We can't say for sure yet. He looks past the sentry. What happened? It's terrible, my lord. I don't know how to describe it. It's been... How long has it been? A few months? Probably a few months of being plagued by these sorcerous beasts. As soon as the night fell, they came creeping right out of the shadows. Black as soot. There's no stopping them. The only thing that's worked so far is keeping the fires burning and maintaining a constant watch. And even with that, creatures drag us off in ones or twos in the second we drop our guard. Heinrix furrows his brow. Sorcerous creatures from the shadows. Could they be demons? That would explain the presence of warp anomalies in the system. A local breach? Marzahai lets out a vicious laugh. I would not be surprised if the monkey was speaking about mandrakes. They come from the shadows, black as a vexed soul, as savage as an enraged Urgul. It's strange that your kin are still alive, Miacidae. The mandrakes must be prolonging their own pleasure by terrorizing the monkey again and again. So, we need to see Lichtenhart. Mistress Lichtenhart is inside, in the pit. You go on, don't be afraid. She'll come out properly to greet you. We'll stand guard. Thanks to the Emperor for delivering you to us. Something isn't right here. I don't trust them. Pascal, 100%. What's in the box? Cargo. Something ain't right here.
Tread a path unexplored.
That chill, where does it come from? It put their lights out. They're creatures. They're coming. Weapons ready. God Emperor preserve us. Yeah, it looks like the mandrakes.
You are but a fleeting flame before.
It's a good thing I brought Marzahai along, because he's the one they really wanted before. But now they're pissed at me too. Well, they took out one of the guys.
Weather the storm. To the heretics.
Okay, RG. Oh, they have quite a bit of health. Furious recital.
Without deeds is worthless.
Confident approach. Concentrated fire. This one goes away.
As the
Wildfire.
Emperor commands, I act.
Can I just hit one of them? Maybe. I was hoping to just hit one, but we'll single shot this. Just hit a mandrake.
For the weak.
Marzahai, you can go here, my dude.
Painful is the way.
We are going to Killing Edge if we can. Hit this one.
What a useless plaything! Broken already.
Hit the second one. we are going to... Oh no, I can charge. Let's not do that. Death Whisper. 12 bleed, or 12 burn, but that's it. Oh, and hemorrhaging. What's my lethality at? Only 3. Yeah, we can dance Macabre through him.
I'm done with you.
I thought that would get me through. But okay. Then I don't have my other movement abilities. Yeah, that's fine. You hit me.
Emperor, protect me! Heretics be damned!
Oh, going for Argenta's actually a good one.
My faith strengthens me.
And then he takes out 2 of them in a single slash. Wow. Ooh, one down here. Yeah, they are wiping them out. Abelard, charge. Go right here so you can hit more of them. We are going to... Defensive stance. Let's do Reckless Strike. Hit a Mandrake.
Indeed. Reduced to dust.
Let's do Daring Breach just to get extra attacks here. Hit the Mandrake again.
Victory is imminent. I will do my... I took care of this one.
It really took out the guy next to him?
My
Okay.
place is at the fore.
If I provocation all of them, I get attacks of opportunity back, I think. No? Okay. I'll hit the Mandrake.
Reduced to dust.
And endure.
This way.
For now.
Can you get him? Nope. My turn. 2 left. Let's do... Juicing Shot. Call the Bold. Surefire Plan. Just for the gigglies, Marcus Prey.
Need no guidance.
Marcus Prey. Doop.
Stab.
And then claim Bounty. And then we'll pop the other one because we claimed Bounty. He takes him out just because he's nearby. That's kind of weird.
I will. Death shall reign.
Well, there's one survivor, the Overseer. Don't really need the weapons. You good? They're mandrakes for sure.
Powers unseen. Uncover.
Well, we know what they are now. Why they're attacking here, I don't know. Ooh. Boarded up passage.
Compared to naval service,
Yeah, help has come at last, guys. This would probably be why.
Damn it! It's a Vox liturgy twisted by warp sorcery. Try not to listen too closely.
May the hearts of the faithful not be daunted by the vile speeches of the foes of humanity. May our faith be strengthened in the face of all corruption and foulness.
This altar would be unremarkable if not for the uncanny sounds streaming from its built-in speakers. What was once a Vox recording of litany service is now a malevolent parody of noble faith. Huh. So they did board it up, but they should have probably destroyed it. I don't have a very good lore warp, so this isn't going to go well for me trying to listen to this.
This explorator is blessed with multifunctionality.
Now that is a very good cape. Instigator's Mantle. Taunting Scream targets do not need to fail willpower resistance tests to be affected by the ability. There's a Swift Shroud Cloak. Whenever the wearer is targeted by an attack of opportunity, they gain 1 stack of Swift Shroud and 6 dodge against this attack. They also gain... The wearer gains 1 MP every time they are targeted by attack of opportunity. If I do use Taunting Scream, though, this cloak is going to be really good. Lore Warp.
A bitter taste of defeat.
Strange debris is scattered across the table's surface, all of it broken pieces of pottery, inscribed tablets, blades, which fanciful designs is clearly work of primitive craft people. I failed. A lot of overseers here.
Intriguing.
But not the person I want to see. Or anything useful. Well, there's Emelina in a circle. It's over here, though, in the room. Goods. Another, bag. I haven't used those in a hot minute. Hey, Emelina? Hold the symbols on the skin. The symbols on the skin must bleed. Again, hold him tighter. What? God Emperor, help me. And the stooped figure draws back the hood of the grimy robe, revealing the emaciated face of a woman. Her skin is stretched taut over her skull, and sickeningly protruding augmentations. Her cheek is marred with several open wounds. She looks at you with a feverish gleam in her eyes. The visual description matches interrogator Von Calix. She blinks several times and her head twitches. You made it here after all. So this is the burnt pet's owner. Perhaps we can inform her about the fate of her prized follower. Heinrich's usual mask of stoicism has melted away without a trace. He stares around him in an undisguised dismay. Emelina, what is this? You're performing Arch-Enemy's rituals. But no, stop. Right now. Not another move unless I tell you. Sage draws herself upright as far as her crooked spine will allow and flicks several switches on her facial augment. Then she turns to you, ignoring Heinrix's words completely. Who have you brought with you, Interrogator Von Calix? Clearance level? Miacidae von Valancius, rogue trader and the God Emperor's anointed. I have every clearance level. Von Valancius, a rogue trader dynasty, territory to the galactic west of Furibundist, head of the dynasty Theodora von Valancius, has been flagged for heretical sentiments, threat level. Heinrix gestures at the room. I brought the help you requested in your message, Emelina of Voidship, under the aegis of the rogue trader. I dragged thousands of people and megatons of plasteel and ceramite through the bowels of the warp. And for what? To discover that you have sold yourself to the Arch-Enemy? You are drawing conclusions based on incomplete knowledge of the situation, Interrogator Von Calix. Your judgment is impaired. Why is she addressing you in a strange manner? I expect that Emelina has chosen to seal the memory block containing the data of personal nature. She does this whenever she is concerned that someone might try to extract information about Calcazar's coterie from her. He thinks for a moment, then says in a clear voice, Sigma Prosperity. He pauses before repeating this strange phrase. The reminiscence block you are attempting to access was repurposed. It now contains the knowledge of rituals performed by the shamans of this place. My standard working memory alone was insufficient to record all the nuances I uncovered in my research here. He looks as though he's been punched in the gut. Emelina, you deleted all the data about members of Calcazar's unit? You wiped us all? Of course not. I retained a portion of the reminiscence block's data relating to the operational significance of Lord Inquisitor's unit. That's how I was able to recognize you, Inquisitor Von Calix. Heinrix's expression scarcely wavers at Emelina's words, but despite this, Marzahai ducks his head sharply and watches the interrogator with devouring eyes. Fear. and despair, and sorrow? An exquisite palate, monkey. Miacidae, silence your pet, Xenoscum, or I will. The chapel with the demented vox casts. What's going on? A side experiment. A way for exhausted and frightened people to find comfort in a higher power. However, I had the services stopped. Several people succumbed to the pernicious influence of the atmosphere and went insane, but the people blamed it on the voices from the Vox. And what's happening here on Photon 4? I came here on the supreme directive of the Lord Inquisitor. Adeptus Historica mission was established on Photon 4 to study the origins of civilization that once inhabited the planet. This world was once settled by humans. The mission aimed to discover which colony ship they came from and why they disappeared. The traces of ancient culture uncovered the layers of soil suggested in the existence of primitive solar faiths among the dark inhabitants of the world. Faiths that are strikingly similar to worship of the Archenemy. The surviving scrolls indicate that shamans use gifts of chaos to protect their people, to secure the harvest, to imbue their warriors with strength and vitality, and that the culture persisted for thousands of years. I was cataloging data when the attacks began at one of the remote outposts. I immediately recognized the enemy of their tactics, Drakuri. They chose an unremarkable, defenseless world where the night lasts half the year. By the time 5 outposts had been swallowed by the darkness, the last astropath had been torn to pieces. Many calls for help had been sent to Kelsazar's unit had gone unanswered, and I realized no one was going to save these people, or this knowledge, so I put the knowledge to use, for the good of humanity. So that explains what we saw on our way here. She glances at you, but she cannot bring herself, or does not consider it necessary to ask you to elaborate. I'm sorry I asked, but what are you trying to achieve here? Your influence has made him more merciful. Interesting. Emelina, the ritual we interrupted, what was it supposed to do? It will rid this world of its half-year-long night and the mandrakes of their total advantage over us. It will force a new heavenly body, the one of human making, to rise above the horizon and illuminate the dark side of the planet. If the ritual works, I will have mastered the secret of forging a new sun. This is madness. Madness, pride, and monstrous, staggering heresy. His voice is barely audible, as if his throat has closed up in shock. Abelard's eyes widen in astonishment. Create a star? God Emperor's grace. What creatures could live in the light of a star born using the powers of the Archenemy? What do you mean to say you've discovered a ritual for creating a sun here? Buried under silica and granite are knowledge and resources that could repel the enemies of humanity. We were too afraid of anything labeled prohibited. My memory contains thousands upon thousands of pages of manuscripts, tomes, and scrolls. Contact with any one of these is supposed to guarantee instant death, but the preachers who claim these are liars. I am living proof of these falsehoods. What happened to the people of this world? All of the survivors here are in the tunnel. The rest are dead, or worse than dead. They are in the clutches of the monsters from Kermora. Our last astropath died when his mind was invaded by a warp entity. He used his side trail to hunt him down. The rest of the people here have been blessed with the protection of those forces I summoned to our aid. That is enough. I have heard all the justifications and complaints 100 times before. No purpose can justify what you have wrought here, who you have become. Who I have become, Interrogator von Calyx? I am what any agent of the Golden Throne is predestined to become if they are able to see through the essence of things. I have, as the Puritans say, succumbed to the heresy of radicalization. Moreover, in doing so, I am only following in the footsteps of our mentor. The only difference is that I have chosen the path of oblitationists, while he chose the Xenohybris, forging an alliance with the accursed Drakuri. What unthinkable accusations! The Lord Inquisitor in league with the enemies of humanity? Emelina, suppress your urge to debate internal matters in the presence of the rogue traitor. Additionally, I will not tolerate insults to the Lord Inquisitor in my presence. No, you've already started. You may as well continue this conversation. Why? It's just philosophical rhetoric coming from an old man with a weakness for a demagogue. Actions are being driven by this philosophy, interrogator von Calix. Mine, yours, the Lord Inquisitors. Why are you avoiding talking about the fact that Xavier Kelsazar is a dangerous radical? No less dangerous than I am, except for I am not driven by utopian ideals, but a desire to protect humanity using a broader range of tools. What you call a broader range of tools is heresy, Emelina. Unremarkable, commonplace heresy. Heresy that has taken on a twisted form in a mind subjected to prolonged contact with corruption. The archenemy has been gnawing at you from within, creating a star with a chaos ritual? You have crossed the line. No, you have obliterated the line. The line? Lines are for the weak and ignorant. Anyone capable of weighing the risks and making a calculated decision would have done the same as me. To protect the Imperium's domain, to deliver a preemptive strike, even Von Valencius. She whips around to you. You are a simple mortal endowed with huge power and privilege, ruling over worlds and holding millions of lives in the palms of your hand. Tell me, would you have done the same as me in my position? Probably not. Considering what they consider to be a new star probably is not what you think it's gonna be, and look at everything it's done so far. I would not have made that mistake. Blinkered vision and a narrowed mind. A warrant of trade in the hands of such a person is a dangerous prospect indeed. She shakes her head spitefully, her eyes filling with blood. The only one to answer my call, and you turn out to be a brainwashed pawn. I did not factor the possibility of psychological dependence. Kelsar can be persuasive, especially with those who depend upon him. A favorite sorcerer, Casa Basilican renegade, oh yes, interrogator von Calix, Xavier Kelsazar, stalwart little soldier. You will die just like Tanikia. Oh, I think you just went over the line there. Emelina, Iona Lichtenhart. He begins, stiffly formal, before breaking off. Tanikia? What do you know about her? You don't even know what fate befell her, do you? I suppose it won't hurt for you to know something of it. A strange sound causes a sage to fall silent. She turns towards the tunnel. Oh no. They're coming out of the mine. We have to save her. Dude, why did you go onto the elevator? Well, that's just a wholesale slaughter. The beasts, they're here. The ritual must be completed. The precautions must not go... Well, enough. We need to block all possible... Ooh. I'm not sure what just happened there, but okay. A lot of mandrakes. I think she's... Oh, she's just downed, I think. So RG, let's go here. We can hit a lot of them. And, Furious Recital.
In battle.
Confident Approach. Man, they have a lot of dodge. I'm gonna rapid fire down there.
Worthless.
So there's 5 left. If I wildfire, I can get this mandrake. I wanted to be using this bolter. Okay, there's 2 down here. We can turn on a lamp to get more accuracy, I think.
Pain and duty go hand in hand.
Break their morale.
Alright, Marzahai. We're gonna go down to the one down here.
Oblivion approaches.
How dare we just walk beautifully? Elusive Shadow. Reckless Strike.
Of manners.
Into Killing Edge on it.
It is Athel.
It dodged that. Well then, next strike. It's down. I still can't get over the fact that they can just attack after, pretty much dying. I suppose that'll be it for now. Oh, even the servitors are helping.
Follow my lead.
Well, at least they didn't shoot me this time. You know, it's not very often I get to use Pascal's melee weapon. Smack. And then let's use the bird to get one of the mandrakes. Soar through him. Obstruct vision. Down he goes. And then we can pistol shot this guy. And miss. We can dismantling attack. I guess we can't. That was the wrong weapon. There we go. Now they're gone. What's left? Are there more?
Through chaos, I strike.
Well, perfect spot for now.
Need no guidance.
Heinrix, go turn on the lamp, please.
The Emperor is on our side.
We might need to turn on all the lamps to be able to, do something here. So in that case, charge. We're going to do warp speed here, so he gets more movement until the end of combat. I thought he would. Never mind. Abelard. Going this way.
Follow my lead.
Then we're going to charge to the lamp
Indeed.
and activate it. Round 2. They're coming up. Oh, they shut the lamps off. That's interesting. And spawned around this one. I see. Kind of. So if I go here, I can hit all 3 of them. That guy's kinda in the way. So what we'll do is we'll run here, just single shot. One of the mandrakes.
Emperor, move through me. Be the fire in my heart. For you, my Emperor.
Then fire mastery.
Resides in the will of the righteous. As the Emperor
You know, I
commands,
probably could have gotten away with rapid fire than firearm mastery to maybe get double the shots.
I'll do it.
Should try that sometime. Looks like I hit the wrong guy.
As the Emperor commands, I eradicate it. Doubt is
Hit the
for
mandrake
weak. This is why I was chosen.
while we're in this position.
Faith without deeds is what none can escape the Emperor's judgment.
Oh, he slashed his own friendo.
I'll do it. Eradicate it.
We're going to use run and gun here. Go by the lamp.
Enemies of the Emperor
Turn on
will
lamp.
be
done.
Miacidae, turn on lamp. I think that's how this fight's gonna go. That, or it's just multiple rounds of them turning those off. Heinrix, go here, turn on lamp.
Everyone, step aside.
Is that all I really need to do? I don't see much else. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Wasted all my work, all my preparation for nothing. Yeah, they stopped your ritual. Emelina, Iona Lichtenhart, in the name of the Inquisition, you are hereby removed from your post and expelled from the Holy Ordo. His eyes are fixed on Emelina, but she does not look at him. Then the interrogator turns his gaze on you. The fate of its fallen members is a matter for the Ordo, heretical archives, artifacts obtained in the excavation, and other assets in Lichtenhart's possession, I hereby declare property of the Holy Inquisition. However, it's for the rogue trader to decide what becomes of Photon 4 and its people. What is your verdict? What would you advise? The world has been compromised. Any attempt to assess the degree of corruption will necessarily be based on weak judgment, vulnerable to doubt and sentiment. I would get rid of the planet and its population. So here's the thing. I know this is probably gonna get some Chaos Worshippers aboard my ship again, and people who are like somewhat infected by chaos once again. But I do agree with the Iconoclast one. Let's just get them off this planet because I'm not leaving them to the Ducari. So, take the survivors aboard my ship, destroy any Xeno artifacts or Chaos artifacts we can. So be it, Lord Captain. Now, as for Emelina, you are hereby stripped of your special status as an agent of the Golden Throne, and all attendant rights and privileges. I am authorized to use all interrogation measures stipulated in the standard framework for information extraction to ascertain the fate of Acolyte Tanika. That is a word I cannot... Calburgaria? Sure, Calburgaria. Will that be necessary, Emelina? No, Interrogator von Calyx. I have no intention of concealing that information from you. I am almost certain that Tanikia was eliminated on the orders of Xavier Calcazar after being deemed a volatile element. You're lying. I have a rather unpleasant suspicion that witnesses to this conversation are also at risk of being eliminated. Whether you were joking or being dead serious, your words fall on deaf ears. Emelina, weakened by the biomancy, is staring fixed at Heinrix, who seems to be engrossed in intense rumination. So just keep listening. I saw one of Calcazar's documents when I went to receive my new orders. Only a fleeting glimpse, but with my memory like a pict recorder, it was long enough for its contents to be imprinted on my mind. I do not know the details, but the document itself was an interrogation transcript with a final annotation indicating that removal of the person from the retinue, and we both know how someone leaves the Lord Inquisition's retinue. Tanikia is the Lord Inquisitor's top espionage specialist. Wherever Xavier chose to refrain from making public show of strength, she was invaluable. Why would he do this? Interrogator, I do not know. Just as I don't know why the Lord Inquisitor sent me to this nondescript planet as soon as I voiced my concerns about his methods. Just as I do not know if I should blame the warp for the lack of responses to my calls for help, or if Calcazar prohibited others from answering. The natures of her mission, and Xavier's true purpose here in the Expanse, was likely why he chose to bury the secret, and Tanikia along with it. The operational data indicates that you are the retinue's primary torture specialist. All this time, I thought you were the one who conducted Tanikia's interrogation, and one of the reasons why I destroyed my personal data block was to ensure that my own sentiments would not prevent me from thinking rationally when I next encountered you or Kelsazar's other servants. So, Heinrix? He says nothing until Emelina. I know Interrogator von Calix. I know all the procedures he used to on compromised sages, interrogation, unsealing of reminiscence blocks, but before we begin, I thought Tanikia was your doing, but as your reaction revealed the truth to me. Heinrix. It is Heinrix, yes. You should know, I am sorry to have forgotten you. That would be so weird. To have, like, all of your memories stored, like, as if they were just some part of a computer, and just be able to go, I want to delete this. Delete this part now. I don't think I could. Especially with how my memory is. Like, I forget so much stuff. So much important stuff. And just forgetting stuff on a whim? No. Once again, decision consequences. Because we made him more merciful, he stares at the sage, says nothing, looks down and mutters something too quietly for you to hear. So that probably would have gone much differently if we didn't calm him down in Kiava Gamma. But he did take her out. Thank you for your assistance in solving my problem, Rogue Trader. Well, she was extremely dangerous, so I guess no less than any heretic deserves. The words of a true citizen of the Imperium. We are finished here. The planet will be designated unfit for further use. The risks are simply too great. It will take a few hours to deal with the excavation site, but it will not delay us. When we return to the ship, find a minute to speak with me. Oh, yay. Alright, so what do we got here? I was entirely expecting to fight her, so that's kind of interesting. But I'm assuming all this stuff from the mandrakes is just going to be junk. Yeah. Alright, so let's get off this planet. So Heinrix wanted to talk to us aboard the bridge. So, let's talk to him and see how this went. What is that? The drawing on the bulkhead of the bridge looks relatively recent, and you gave no orders for it to be done. You do not recognize the whimsical symbols. Examine it carefully. With some effort, you manage to make out that the interweaving lines are intricately styled letters. And you think you have encountered them before. It's a language somewhere in the Calix sector, so from his sector. However, what is this? Mistress Haydari's shenanigans. She gave the order for this thing to be painted. God Emperor as my witness. I haven't got any clue what it is, but I don't like it. Jay, explain please. I thought it was Kelsazar, cause Calix. Do you like it, Shireen? I think it fits just wonderfully with the surroundings. You haven't answered me. What is it? It's a phrase in a dialect from Efreet. It says, Miacidae carries in his chest a heart that passion has woven with Jay's heart. May their affection burn brightly for all the glory of the Exalted One. It's a loose translation of the most famous love poetry from my world. You really love drawing attention to yourself, don't you? She says nothing, but her face breaks into a smile. So why did you have it painted here? So that the proud words would inspire your officers. They will perform great deeds and overcome the most fearsome enemies under the banner of our love. She's pleased with herself. She looks at you with a grin. Fine, it can stay. Right, you are Lord Captain. He stares at the drawing and mutters, what's my bridge turning into? Ah, Shireen, I know your soul would resonate with the great lines of my verse. I will read to you this poem one day and you will say, by the Exalted One, it's about us. Right by Heinrix, though? Really?
Lord Captain, I thank you for your assistance with my mission. Thanks to rogue trader von Valancius, the Inquisition has stopped the enemies of humanity. even those hiding in its own ranks on this occasion. I will no longer be making any claim on your time or resources.
Gotta admit that was a little odd. Everything she said about Kelsazar. Do we need to be concerned?
It is dangerous information, but you are already too deeply involved.
That I am.
In the Inquisition, there are two main philosophies: Puritanism and radicalism. The adherents of the former are conservatives who strive to follow the letter of inquisitorial doctrine in all matters. The radicals are more pragmatic. They believe that the end often justifies the means, and they use tools that a Puritan would condemn as heretical.
I like them. I like them more.
Emelina used the powers of chaos to gain the upper hand against Xenos. I touched a cogitator built by cultists to learn its secrets. None of us is pure. Xavier. The craven-hearted say that the career of every Inquisitor ends in either death or heresy. The Lord Inquisitor has borne this burden longer than any of us. It would be naive to think that he had only ever used Puritan methods, and even more naive to suggest that such methods have in any way weakened his loyalty to the God Emperor. And that is all I will say on the subject.
I mean, he seemed like a nice guy, nice enough. And he did say he was going to overlook a lot of what I did. So, I mean, overlooking for overlooking. So what are you going to do now that this is done?
I will remain part of your retinue. That will not change. I will continue to accompany you until I receive orders to the contrary from the Lord Inquisitor, if ever. Who knows? Perhaps one day my journey will end like Emelina's, but that day is not today.
Well, that's good. And then Solomorne here wants to talk really quick before we end the episode, so Rogue Trader, please accept my report in person. It concerns criminal collusion among senior officers. They will also be present to be able to answer the charges. Criminal collusion? I would prefer not to divulge details over Vox. It could be overheard by those who will have to stand before you and answer for their actions. So, alright, let's see. I'm guessing Danrock's going to be involved, but Solomorne, haven't we gone through this rigmarole before? Oh! The Voxmaster and the Helmmaster. Rogue Trader, I hold 3 senior officers accountable for the misconduct I have uncovered as part of my investigation. I allege, Rogue Trader, I hold... Oh yeah, Danrock's there as well. I hold 3 senior officers accountable for the misconduct I have uncovered as part of my investigation. I allege that the ship's crew is full of wanted criminals. Do you refute the charge, Janus Danrock? What are you insinuating? Esteemed Proctor. He stares at the Arbiter with uncharacteristic coldness. Heretics on board the ship of the Emperor's Anointed are a threat to the whole Imperium. If anyone knew about this and failed to report it, punishment will follow. Isn't that right, Foxmaster? Vigdis does not react in any way. I do my duty honorably and will obey the Lord Captain's will, whatever it may be. Solomorne, didn't we tell you that no audits were needed? There were none. I made do by analyzing the data I had obtained earlier. I have uncovered a scheme involving all 3 of them. It is coordinated by the Voxmaster, who buries incriminating facts about Voidsmen on your ship in the depths of the archives. Janus Danrock and Ravor turn a blind eye to the sordid past of the new recruits and divvy up their workforce that has come into their possession. This is a completely insane accusation. We are not bringing criminals onto the crew intentionally. Of course we're not. I'll admit that we do not try to hunt down every biological fact about each Voidsman who sets a foot on board, but only because that would be a hopeless endeavor. But none of us had any intention of populating your ship with heretics. Are we really taking... I mean, it doesn't really matter if they're aboard my ship as long as they're not doing anything out of place. So why not hire people from the lower decks? Ravor lets out an uncertain chuckle. What our esteemed Master Helmsman meant to say is that those unfortunates are only suitable for menial labor. It's simply impossible to find qualified voidsmen in the numbers we require. Okay. So, why are we doing this, Solomorne? Why are we accusing the senior officers in front of the entire bridge? I was in a rush and applied the regulations I'm accustomed to using on other vessels to your flagship. It's my fault for misjudging the situation, rogue trader. So, are we actually taking criminals into our crew? Sort of. Sometimes they slip through the net because we don't have enough information from local wardens. Sometimes we're forced to overlook unsightly paths for the sake of acquiring niche specialists. Even common smugglers, for instance, often turn out to be quite an asset on Raver's crew. We do draw a line, however, even at the whisper of a genuine heresy at a Voidfarer's past. I'm sure you realize, Lord Captain, that a smuggling and a false cultism are both heresies in the eyes of the law, for they transgress his word, but one is far more dangerous than the other, to put it bluntly. I mean, not that I care, but why keep this from me? We did not intend to hide it from you. Lord Captain Theodore did not deign to involve herself in so trifling a matter as replenishing her workforce. She was only interested in ensuring that there was no interruptions in the running of the ship. We have always handled crew appointments on our own without your lordship's involvement. Oh, that actually does make a lot of sense. The assembled officers look at you with anticipation with your decision. Ooh, I can get trained specialists from one of these. That's allocate protectorate funds for the training of specialized crewmen. We have enough masters of their craft on board to train a new generation. Or get commendation to make an additional attack. So what do you do in my position, Solomorne? And give me a third option. I can see that your officers are acting for the good of the dynasty. It would be unfair not to take that into account in their sentencing. Therefore, I propose a process of atonement for the criminals brought aboard. Those who show due diligence and loyalty at the end of the term may officially join the crew. All expenses are to be taken out of the personal allowance of these three. It will be their penalty for circumventing the law. That would get me reprint of act, 5% damage dealt to pirates in the first... That is so... I mean, yes, that would get me better, like, more law-abiding crewmates, but we can allocate the protectorate funds for training specialist crewmen. We have enough masters of the craft on board to train a new generation. That gets me plus 3 damage on lance weapons, I suppose. It's just lance damage, but 3 damage per hit, I'm assuming, in the first round. Or macro cannons make 1 more attack, so that might just be like 1 more shot. So train additional people. That's what I would do anyway. Train additional people. It will take time, and a great deal of time, and will require a considerable amount of financial contribute. He stops under your gaze. I don't care how much it costs. We get trained specialists, so plus 3 damage on the lances. As you command, your lordship, we will see it done. Solomorne, was that really necessary? But, yeah, as I was saying before he brought that up, we'll pick up from this episode going to Dargonis in the next episode. And depending upon how short some of these are, just keep going from there. Because realistically, that one up at the Calamity wasn't all that long. And we'll just see what we can do. So that'll be it for this time. Like, comment, subscribe, all that YouTube jazz. And otherwise, as always, I wish you all well. I will see you next time. And please, have a good one.